announces that they will dissolve programming and replace it with slideshows of Amy Poehler and Tina Fey.
Plus, scandalous pictures of Les Miles wearing nothing but his trademark hat.
Also, dogs on unicycles and cats on moon shoes violently exploited by Ellen DeGeneres. These stories and my erotic Jennifer Lawrence fanfiction revealed right now on the Funyon. Welcome to the Funyon, the Siri Cruise of the news world. I'm Logan Anderson.
And I'm MJ Hernandez, filling in for Michael Edmondson, who couldn't be here because he never cared about this show anyways. After a disappointing loss at Sanford Stadium last Saturday, the Tiger Athletic Foundation announced that it is forcing the university to drop its renowned landscape architecture major as a sacrifice to the football gods. Blood from the innocent will be smeared on the doors of the locker rooms to ward off evil spirits from further harming the team. Sources say that Zach Mettenberger has been suffering from chilling nightmares of Aaron Murray laughing at him all week. The team will be visited by a voodoo witch doctor tomorrow who will purify them with fire and a recommended dose of Nolan's brand pickled pig's feet.
Local LSU student Holly Baggins is facing the realization that she finds Aaron Murray hotter than Zach Mettenberger. Holly began to have doubts about her attraction to Mettenberger after watching the 6'1" Murray command his team with confidence and suave. Baggins reportedly began to compile a pro-con list of both of the quarterbacks. While Holly did find Mettenberger's floppy brown hair, blue eyes, and rosy cheeks to be very cute, she just couldn't help but be drawn in by Murray's tan skin, cocky grin, and those deep brown eyes. While Murray does seem like a total D-bag, she can't get over Mettenberger's lack of a Twitter, which may make him either a weirdo or a nerd. Which quarterback would you choose to be your baby daddy? Tweet us at Funyon Gang. CNN announced today that they will merge their company with BuzzFeed and cease all television broadcasts. CNN's mascot Anderson Cooper explained that distilling important news into numbered lists was more enjoyable and easier to read than watching television. CNN has begun to adapt their current website into the new format with the top story, Top 36 Reasons Nuclear Warfare Might Be Good for You.
When we come back, Lord Xenu opens up on Twitter about Leah Remini's attack on Scientology.
Plus, is there any reason to live now that Breaking Bad is over? Probably not, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Next week on The Funyon, investigative reporter Alex Cormier brings you inside the story.
I'm coming to you from Hodges Hall, where
The Daily Reveille, a false flag operation for terrorism. The Funyon goes in-depth. Crime, smuggling, sleeper agents, human trafficking. All the scary words that will send chills down your spine. Next week on The Funyon, legally restricted from being the #1 name in news.
Welcome back to The Funyon, the only show to advocate for same-sex animal marriage.
You know, same-sex animal marriage is a sacred bond. I don't see anything wrong with two hens who clearly love each other entering into matrimony.
A recent CNN ORC international poll shows that almost 70% of Americans agree that congressional leaders are acting like spoiled children. After shutting down the government, congressional leaders locked themselves into their rooms. President Obama announced that if Congress does not reach an agreement by the end of the week, he will be forced to go into each of their homes and give them spankings and send them to bed with no dessert.
Mitt Romney, still reeling from his presidential loss in 2012, admitted to CNN that his largest strategic error was completely disregarding the Hispanic population of America. Romney stated that if he simply acknowledged the existence of the Hispanic community as American citizens, he would have won the White House. Romney, who has denied Hispanics, the youth, and anyone who isn't white, says that he now has a better insight into how to make the Republican Party successful once again, and also promised Karl Rove that he would pay back all of that money he owes.
Congressional leaders have opened up this week about the government shutdown, saying that it was time for America to call it quits. Saying that all of America should just stop, Congress stalled budget agreements that would prevent the shutdown. Speaker John Boehner had this to say.
I think America had a pretty good run, but it's time for us to just pack it on up and head home. I mean, things really aren't getting better. Obama is still president, and we're slowly losing power, so this whole America experiment is pretty much over.
Senator Ted Cruz likened shutting down America to putting your old sick dog to sleep with a shotgun. Congress thanked the country for their service to democracy and liberty, but admitted that the time for the country is now at the mercy of the Chinese.
When we return, I'll play my harassing voicemails from Alec Baldwin.
Plus, Ty Pennington makes over Sarah Jessica Parker's face on Extreme Makeover, Horse Edition. More after the break.
welcome back to the Funyon. In other news, hipsters everywhere are jazzed about the newest subcultural movement to annoy their parents. Ghetto wave is the newest music and fashion trend to pervade the indie lifestyle and culturally appropriate black culture in the most ironic way possible. Hipsters on campus are feeling nostalgic and are wearing oversized FUBU jackets and really baggy jeans from 2005, while listening to lots of Lil Boozy and Webby, feeling that they are able to identify with the struggle of life on the streets of Baton Rouge. While indie folks young and slightly older but still in college have been flocking to the trend thanks to Tumblr, some ahead of the trends have been seeking out new roads with the trend Hype Wave, which involves jumping up and down to loud electronic buzzes.
Rockstar Games launched Grand Theft Auto Online this past week to an audience of scrubs, noobs, and virgins. The much-anticipated multiplayer mode allows players to inhabit the lives of crooked criminals, mob bosses, and sex perverts. Many students on campus say that they are excited to finally be able to come up with creative and gruesome ways to kill prostitutes and kick virtual dogs in the face with their friends.
NBC's venerated series Law & Order SVU premiered last week for the 15th season, begging the question, how much longer can this series last? Mariska Hargitay, who looks tired, battered, and just plain bored, drudged through the episode like a spent racehorse ready to be turned into dog food. Ice-T also made his mandatory 3-minute appearance to collect his paycheck. Danny Pino and Kelly Giddish, newcomers to the series, tried their best to inject life into the lifeless corpse of a crime drama, but fell flat on their face, failing to realize how it's simply too late.
Self-hating humans with the Intergovernment Panel on Climate Change announced last week that humans are the cause of the climate change. The conceited scientists smugly delivered the verdict that the deforestation, carbon-based fuels, and all the other things that make humanity great are killing the planet. People from all across the nation have been chiming in with their thoughts. Grant DeGatere, a finance sophomore, had this to say.
May, if I want to go make a fire out of some tires and go mud riding in my environmentally unsound 2-mile-per-gallon truck, ain't no science nerd gonna tell me different. You think I care about them polar bears or anything? Let them flood and wash up on the shores of the state. I'ma shoot them things, ball.
The scientists mention that while it's easy to make a big difference by reducing our use of plastics and switching to energy-efficient bulbs, the majority of humanity simply doesn't care enough about Earth's ultimate destruction to do so. One of the most notorious drug marketplaces on the web was confiscated yesterday. The Silk Road was a website hidden in which narcotics and heroin and in which psychotics from heroin to meth, God, I can't get my meth right, in which narcotics from heroin to meth could be exchanged through the mail. College students everywhere immediately began to clear out their hard drives and flush their illegal Adderall down the toilet. The Funyon will now observe a moment of silence for our fallen friend.
T-Mobile has announced the new planned Familyhood Shared Everything Plus One Simple Plan sponsored by rock band Simple Plan. The service includes an LG G2 Simple Plan branded phone and over 4,000 anytime minutes that exclude holidays, weekends, bar mitzvahs, weeknights, and the hours of 12 to 4:30 p.m. It also includes a 500 megabyte data plan that is shared among members of your family for only $4.99 a month.
Personally, MJ, I find the plan to be great. My LG G2 came loaded with hot Simple Plan tracks like I'd Do Anything and Addicted. And I can borrow the Simple Plan, and I can browse the Simple Plan website with blazing 4G speeds. In other news, the Funyon is now basically the only broadcast with a Snapchat. Send us your selfies at Snapchat handle Funyon Gang. That's FUNYONGANG. I am eagerly awaiting your nudes. Well, that's going to be all for tonight's program. Join us next week when MJ models Spank's new line of anchor wear.
I'm looking forward to that, Logan. For all of us here at the Funyon, good night.